Hey, peace and love, everybody. I have to ask, can you see me this morning? Because I can't see myself on my screen. So let me know. That'd be great. Peace and love to you all. Thanks for being here live. Hi, Maggie, Kristen, Catherine, Wanda. Are you guys there? Can you hear me? Mhm. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Can you hear and see me, my friends? Yes, excellent. Thank you. I had a longer serenade of the birds this morning. It's so uplifting to listen to them. Thanks for being here. I'll quiet them down though. So, Dr. Andrew Newberg, whose work I've been following for a while, is a professor and director of research at the Marcus Institute of Integrative Health at Thomas Jefferson University and Hospital. And he's written in numerous books on what's called neurotheology. He says his interest in this field began in medical school when he used neuroimaging to study the effects on the brain of such conditions as depression and Alzheimer's disease. Then he said one day, wait a minute, if we're doing brain scans on people who are depressed and have Alzheimer's, why can't we do brain scans on people who are meditating and praying? Neurotheology studies the relationship between the brain and religious or spiritual experiences. Maybe you're familiar with Aldous Huxley. He coined the term, and the first known use of the term can be found in his book Heaven and Hell, published in 1956, Neurotheology. Dr. Andrew Newberg, the neuroscientist, identifies 5 core elements of spiritual experience. And that's what we want to talk about today. These 5 core elements, by which he means, and I mean, the elements that can be found across social, economic, religious, spiritual fields when deep spiritual experience happens. So the first one is unity or connectedness. And this can range from a mild sense of, may the peace of God be with you, peace be with you in church, or to a profound mystical experiences where one feels this intimacy and mystical connection to source. This sense of oneness is linked to the prefrontal lobe, which processes sensory information to create a spatial representation of the self. This is where we are. Decreased activity in this region occurs when the distinction between self and others diminishes, whether it's in community or with humanity or the world or with the divine being itself. And that sense of oneness happens when this is quieted down. And it comes with this decentering of the self. No longer am I or are you at the center of your own existence. It can happen. It happened to me several times, but most intensely during my Kundalini awakening. 2, unique intensity. Here it is, the intensity of it. Profound spiritual experiences are characterized by extreme emotional responses, this intensity of it. For instance, and I've talked about this numerous times, we don't just feel love. We feel the most overwhelming and infinite love we've ever felt in these experiences. The intensity of it is is the size of the earth compared to a molecule. A molecule is the love that we feel on a daily basis. The size of the earth is this overwhelming intensity. These intense feelings, they're associated with the limbic system, he's discovered, the brain's primary emotional driver, which activates the limbic system activates during these significant events. And it activates at other significant events too in our lives. But during meditation, during spiritually transformative experiences, the limbic system activates. 3, clarity. There is this sensation of understanding that The veil of the world has been lifted. There's a clarity about it. There's an understanding that supersedes all understandings. And Newberg says that this likely involves multiple brain regions, particularly the thalamus, which processes sensory information and constructs perception of reality. There's an intensity that happens in these experiences that is overwhelming in its clarity. Studies show shifts in the thalamus happened during these experiences. So he's wired up everybody's brain and has them meditate in a lab. And it's like Buddhist nuns and Catholic nuns and regular street people who are meditators or people who practice prayer. He's done numerous studies in his lab. So number 4, surrender. And this involves the feeling of release or letting go. And it's often seen in charismatic traditions, and particularly, as we know, in mystical traditions, where the individuals like us feel taken over by the higher power. We surrender to it. I talk a lot about surrendering, and non-attachment, the surrendering of self, the surrendering to the divine presence. Initially, prayer increases activity in the frontal lobe, which is responsible for purposeful action. So you're concentrating, you're using that frontal lobe, you're using the force of your mind. But during peak experience, the activity in the frontal lobe just drops off, correlating with a sense of surrender. The brain is interacting with our spirituality. We're using our brains to access our higher selves. And 5, and finally, transformation. These experiences lead to significant personal change. We've talked about this a bazillion times because it's almost like it says it's almost like the brain is being wired, but it's my experience that the brain is rewired during these experiences. A new personality, a new aspect of our personality begins to uh, overwhelm these other aspects of our personality. We have significant changes that occur. Near death experiences are radical examples of all of these things, but it's also true in all sorts of spiritually transformative experiences. And this transformative element involves likely various parts of the brain. So here we are. We have unity or connectedness, unique intensity, clarity, surrender, and transformation. These are the 5 key elements in spiritually transformative experiences that have a direct relationship to meditative practice. Dedicated and disciplined meditative practices enhance the possibility of these elements in our lives, and science shows this is true. So if you want a transformed life, put in the effort. You'll be surprised at the results as you progress. It is an incremental practice, incremental progress, but you'll be surprised. So, group meditation, what we're doing here, gathering in our Sanga, and say hello to Living for Joy, Judith, and Christina. Good morning to everybody. And Maggie, I think I said hi to you already, and Catherine, Kristen, Wanda, I think so. Group meditation intensifies our experience. The life force energy that is who we are is magnified in group practice, whether you're with us live or by recording. This has also been established. Oh, and thank you, Maggie. I resonate so deeply with this, Peter, especially at this time. I feel so guided and trustful of the direction I am sharing with my son. I'm so glad to hear that, Maggie. So I want to talk a little bit about our practice this morning. Om. So we talked about this in our Kriya Yoga group yesterday. I haven't been practicing Om publicly here for a little while, but we'll do a little bit of that today. But this is what I want to say about it. So it's basically 3 mouth shapes and 1 single vibration. So I open my mouth, I say, ah, I make a U shape with my lips. Ooh, close my mouth. The vibration in my throat stays exactly the same. Aum, aum. This doesn't change. The shape of my mouth changes. And so there's this consistent vibration in my throat that feels resonant inside my body. I feel the vibration of the sound that I'm making with my physical body, and it takes my mind off of my thought. I don't have a running mind when I'm saying, "Aum." It's very helpful to have this kind of uh, practice where the meaning of the word is not that important. The meaning of the word falls away, and maybe we'll talk a little bit about that next time. But I want to make sure we have enough time to meditate. I'm not 100% sure what's going on with my computer this morning. It just the screen just kind of went away for a moment. I hope you're still with me. Still says live on my I don't know. Still says live. I don't know what to call that. All right, so we have till 8:30. So let's grab some time here to meditate. It's the most important thing I can do in my day. Hey Siri, set a timer. Set an alarm for 8:30. Will you do that? Let's see. She won't. So let's set my own timer for. I'll say 19 minutes because we're a minute over here. All right. Good. I'm glad you're there. Hopefully, the screen won't vanish. Thanks for liking and subscribing. See you Sunday at Not Church. Thanks for your support. Here we go. Feet flat on the floor. We're going to do a little bit of Om and then breathe into your belly or into your root and then breathe up your spine, either out your nose with your concentration, using your mantra, or focus on your middle of your brow here. Here we go, just to begin with. A little bit of Om. Take your time. Continue if you wish. I drop into your mantra and your interior prayer, your interior meditation. Go back to your breath. Follow your mantra whenever your mind wanders. Peace and love, everyone. Hi, Kay Parrish. I'll talk about my Kundalini awakening soon. Maybe this Sunday. Peace and love, everyone. I hope your meditation was as deep for you as it was for me.